What's up, everybody? Welcome to DFS by the Numbers. These are my DraftKings MMA picks for UFC Vegas 8, Alexander Rakic versus Anthony Smith. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another DraftKings breakdown here. This time we are breaking down UFC Vegas 8, Rakic versus Smith. It's a pretty solid card compared to the last two. Great co-main event, Magny versus Lawler. A great card all around, really. I don't necessarily think there's going to be a lot of finishes, but there are a lot of fun fights on here, and really looking forward to it. Coming off of a very tough week last week, obviously three of the biggest favorites losing. Very unexpectedly, Dobson pulling off the upset, the biggest upset ever. I had a ton of Agapova, but I was in a position to get a solo takedown in the Minimax. All I needed was Munoz to get either score 14 more points or Munoz to get the decision. I would have taken down the Minimax solo, which, it sucks a lot. I thought I had the decision, but they ended up giving it to Frankie Edgar. Can't hate on that too much. It was a pretty close fight, but I thought I had it. But, going into this week, I think it's going to be a lot easier than the past couple weeks. Like, these past couple weeks have been tough, and, we still got to wait for weigh-ins. There could be another surprise. I've been doing these videos, and, a lot has changed throughout the week, so I waited till Friday morning here, but I do think there might be a surprise or two at weigh-ins, and we'll definitely talk about it. That's why that the weigh-in breakdown, the final thoughts video on Friday, the live stream at 7 p.m. Eastern Time is a very, very important video, especially, the past couple weeks with all the changes that we're getting, seeing the fighters weigh in and, seeing who looks good, who doesn't. It's been very important, so make sure you guys tune into that video. Like I said, Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. It's a very, very important video. Before we get started and break this down, if you guys can leave a like, subscribe if you haven't yet, would appreciate that a ton. I think I'm like 200 subscribers away from 6,000. If we can hit 6,000 subscribers in the next couple weeks, that'd be amazing. So any subscribe helps, and thank you for everybody that does support me. But we're gonna get into the card now, starting with the fight doesn't go to decision lines, and like I said, a lot of these fights are going to go to decision here. So Kudalaba versus Ankalaev, minus 270. Fight doesn't go to decision. We saw what happened last fight. The fight ended in the first, 30 seconds to a minute. I don't necessarily think that's going to happen, but I think this fight, could end inside the distance for sure. Both these guys are going to go at it, especially if they, if Kudalaba comes in there last time, like he did. If he comes in here this time like he did last time, I think someone's probably going to get finished. I do want to target both sides of this fight. I like Ankalaev at his price. Kudalaba at 7,200 I think is a high upside play as well. Rakic versus Smith, minus 180. Fight doesn't go to decision. I do like both sides of this as well. With the lean on Rakic. Impa versus Pitolo, minus 110. Fight doesn't go to decision. If Impa wins, it's going to be by decision. If Pitolo wins, it's going to be by a finish. So this minus 110 definitely makes sense. Aguilera Brady, minus 110. Fight doesn't go to decision. Aguilera is definitely live in that first round, and I do think that Brady could definitely get a finish here in this fight. But he's more of a decision guy, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. Whitmire and Viana, plus 105. Fight doesn't go to decision. Both these girls are either, doing the finishing or getting finished, more on the Viana side. Viana has a 100% finish rate. I think Whitmire is more towards the 50% range, but I think either fighter can possibly get a finish here. I think it could be kind of a sneaky fight to target in that 8,000, 8,200 range. Getting to the core plays here, Sean Brady, and I like him a lot here. In his two fights, he scored over 100 points once, and he scored 90-something in his second fight against Nardiev. And this is a big step down in competition from Court McKee and Ismail Nardiev, two very tough opponents. Both those guys were finished twice combined in their whole careers. So both those guys do not get finished, but I can tell you Aguilera has been knocked out 4 times. Brady, I think he's a black belt in BJJ. He has really good wrestling, really good grappling. I think he can come in here, and I've seen Aguilera get taken down very, very easy. Even if Brady doesn't get the finish, I still think he scores very highly with the takedowns, with the advances, lots of groundwork, the smaller cage to really push the action. I like Brady a ton at 9,300. Probably my favorite play on the slate. Alexander Rakic, 8,700. Smith's very tough, but he's coming back off of an absolute beating. He's coming back way too early. 3 months ago, he took that beating against Glover Teixeira. He's coming back too early, so I don't know. I don't know what he's going to be like in this fight. He's usually very, very tough. But I think Rakic has a chance to get a finish, and it could be early. It could be in that first round. That's where Rakic is most dangerous. or he can just win a decision based on volume. And even then, I do think it could definitely be enough to hit that 8,700 price tag. I like that price a lot for Alexander Rakic there. Emily Whitmire, 8,200. Core play here because I do think there's upside, but women's MMA, we really don't know which way this is going to go. And I like her here because I think she's better pretty much everywhere, and I think she's only going to lose if she gets subbed with Viana on her back. I think she's the better wrestler, the better striker. I think she can get takedowns here. The thing is, she has been submitted 3 times in her 3 losses, but that's against girls like Amanda Ribas, Jillian Robertson. So she's been getting submitted by a lot more better fighters than Polyana Viana. So I don't know. I like Whitmire to win this fight, but would I be surprised if Viana got an armbar off her back? Not at all. It's women's MMA, so play both sides. But my lean is Whitmire. I think she gets it done unless she gets submitted on top, which Hannah Cifers was on top of Viana, and Viana wasn't able to submit Cifers, so that's a good sign there. Alex Caceres, 7,400. This is going to be kind of a chalky play. This is more of a cash play for me. I don't know how high I'm going to go on it for GPP because Caceres usually does not score high unless he's fighting Chase Hooper. So probably more of a cash play. Might be a little bit underweight to this in GPPs because I think it's going to be very, very high on. And like I said, he does not score high. But I don't know. There aren't many underdogs on this card, so maybe you do need Caceres in this spot. But it just was not impressed with his opponent, Springer. I think he has a shot to win, but I don't know. I want to see where DraftKings... We still don't have a price for Springer on DraftKings, so we'll definitely talk about that Friday after the weigh-in final breakdown video. But yeah, Caceres, I think, is a fine play if you do want to go there, 7,400. I think he can pay off that price tag in the win, but is it going to be enough to get in the optimal lineup? It depends if these other underdogs win, and I'm not so sure that too many underdogs win this week. GPP plays here, Magomed Ankalaev, 9,000. We saw what happened last time, early finish. If Ion Kudalaba comes in there again like that, he's probably going to get finished again. I do like Ankalaev to win the fight. I think Kudalaba does have a chance to win, but I think Ankalaev is the more technical striker. I think he's the better fighter overall by a decent margin. He has the better cardio, and I do think he gets it done, but don't want to go too high on this play because I do want to target some Kudalaba because Kudalaba is going to come in there very, very dangerous, very early. So yeah, I like this. I like to target this fight though. I want to target both sides. Ricardo Lambos, 9,200. I actually think he has a chance to finish this fight. He is a pretty good finisher. We'll take a look at his finish stats in a second, but going against Bill Algeo just was not impressed whatsoever. I've seen him get put in some bad spots on the ground. If Lamas gets on top, I think he can get him out of there with some ground and pound. So I do like Lamas quite a bit. Lamas has a 58% finish rate. 9,200 is a little bit too much. I'd rather play Brady, but I think is a fine GPP option because I do think the finish upside is there. Mallory Martin going against Hannah Cifers. Cifers has been finished in 5 of her 6 losses, so I think the opportunity for a finish with Martin is for sure on the table, and she is a good wrestler, and we all know what the weakness of Cifers is, and that is the ground game, and I do see this ending up on the ground, so I think Martin's a fine play. I think she's going to be a little lower owned. I see a lot of people trying to take a shot on Cifers, which I don't understand, maybe because there's not many underdogs and they want to force an underdog, but I like Martin to win this fight. I think she can get it done with maybe a submission or some ground and pound as well. She's not really a finisher, but if she gets Cifers on the mat, I think she could possibly get it done. Impa here, 8,500. I don't love it. He only has like a 27% finish rate, and he's fighting these lower level guys. Patolo is the more experienced fighter by a decent margin. Has more UFC experience as well. Of course, he's like 1-2 in the UFC, losing to Potter. He beat Charles Byrd, and then his last fight against Stewart, he gave Stewart his first submission win. So really question the IQ of Patolo. I do like Impa to win this fight. I just don't know how much I like him as a DraftKings play. I think he's going to try to really grind on Patolo, take him down. I see him make a lot of mistakes on the mat. He's very, very green. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if Patolo won this fight. I'm actually really surprised that Patolo is the underdog in this fight because Impa is so unexperienced. He's been fighting since like 2017, so he's fairly new to the game, still very green. I think this is a very, very winnable fight for Patolo, but the path to victory for Impa is there for sure. Just don't know how much it scores on DraftKings. Live dogs, Maki Patolo touched on it a little bit. I think this is probably one of my favorite underdog plays here, and I don't think many underdogs win this week, but I think he has a good shot. He's just the more experienced guy. Impa, his chin hasn't been tested really. Very, very new to the game. And I think Patolo can use that experience Two, he has his advantage there, and he's a very dangerous fighter as well. The more dangerous fighter is Pitolo, and it's not even close. If there is a finish, it's most definitely going to be Pitolo. I don't see Impa getting Pitolo out of there in any way. But I like Pitolo for the upside there at 7,700. It's a good price. I do think he should be the favorite. Polyana Viana, 8,000. She's finished 100% of her fights, and Whitmire's been submitted in all 3 of her losses. It's pretty simple math there. If she wins, it's probably going to be some type of submission, and of course it's going to score high, and it looks like most people are on Whitmire. I haven't really seen many people on Viana, so I think this could definitely lower the ownership, and it's definitely a fighter I do want to target because it's women's MMA. It could definitely go either way, and she does finish, all of her fights, so I don't mind some Viana 8,000. Anthony Smith, I think he's for sure in play. He's Anthony Smith. He has the way more experience. I'm not too impressed with Rakic. I just don't like him coming back too soon. I think Rakic is the better fighter here, but Anthony Smith is someone you can never count out. But I don't really like the matchup. But maybe he's able to. I don't know. Rakic got dropped by Devin Clark. Maybe Anthony Smith's able to get him out of there late in the fight if Rakic tires. But I don't know. I like Rakic to win the fight, but I will have some Smith just in case he's able to get Rakic out of there late. Alessio Di Chirico, 7,800, very, very low volume. Probably not going to have much here. He's just another underdog I think can win. He does not throw much at all. Throws about 3 strikes per minute compared to Cummings, 2.8. I do think he's going to win this fight very, very slightly, but will it score high on DraftKings? Probably not. Probably a fight I'm going to be extremely low owned on. If I had to pick between Cummings at 8,400 or Di Chirico at 7,800, the obvious play is to go with the underdog there at Di Chirico with the line being so close. Robbie Lawler, 7,600. The thing is, he hasn't had a knockout win since like 2015. He hasn't had a first-round knockout win since 2013. He's definitely on the decline. He's 38 years old. But if he wins, it's probably going to be by knockout. I think Lawler is knockout or bust here, and I guess that's why we do got to target him. Magny has been finished twice by strikes. I've seen him rocked a ton. But, Lawler, if he still has anything left in the tank, maybe he lands a hard shot. Wouldn't be too surprised, but I just think Lawler's on his way out. Not picking him to win, but I don't mind a shot on him on DraftKings at that price. Getting to the pump plays, there's not much there, but I really like this pump play. Ion Cutelaba, 7,200. He's going to come in here and he's going to fight for your money. 7,200 if he gets any type of win, which is probably going to be a finish. It's going to be in the optimal lineup. He's going to come out there and try to take Ankalaev's head off, and that's what we want in a DraftKings play. So I do like Cutelaba at 7,200 as a pump play there. Going to have a decent amount and pretty much a decent amount of the whole of the fight as a whole as well. So definitely a fight I do want to target quite a bit. Alexa Grasso, 9,100, just a pretty easy fade here. Also, debating on fading Neil Magny as well. Both don't score well whatsoever. It's going to be a striking fight the whole time. Both girls aren't going to take it to the ground. Both average, less than a takedown. Grasso, it could be a tough matchup for her as well. Kim has a 7-inch reach advantage, a 6-inch reach advantage, which could play to her benefit. But I do think Grosso's the faster fighter. I just see this being striking, maybe a little bit low volume, and for that reason, I don't really see her paying off that 9,100 price tag. All right, and I just want to remind you guys, it's always a great time to sign up on Patreon. You receive full access to my model, all the stats I use week in and week out to see, what fighters do what, significant strikes, takedowns, all that, finish stats, all that. Premium projections as well, my GPP lineup percentages, my DraftKings article that I release early Saturday mornings, and then also access to my Discord, so you're able to ask me any question at any time. I'm usually pretty good at replying in there, but thank you all for watching. Should be a fun week. Lots of big favorites here. Lots of strategy that's going to be involved as well. I think it's going to be fun. One of these big favorites are definitely going to lose. Could it be Rakic? Could it be Ankalaev? But I do think one of them's probably going to lose. And yeah, it's going to be a fun week. And good luck, guys. And good luck.